Okay, let's check out this video clip on inflation. Here we go.
Higher prices at Home Depot. Until now, America's largest home improvement retailer had offered limited guidance on the impact of tariffs. However, the company's CFO told CNN that some of its prices could be going up because of the cost of the Trump administration's taxes on imports. For more, we're joined now.
And you see, they're not even these corporations. They're not even trying to say, well, yeah, we had to raise it for different reasons. And they're telling you, look, this is a direct impact of tariffs. So if we didn't have tariffs, we wouldn't see these increases. So you have these large corporations that are out there saying, we have to pay more. Our consumers are going to have to pay more.
Now, by CNN business and politics correspondent Vanessa Yurkevich. Tell us more about this, Vanessa.
Yeah, well, America's largest home improvement retailer cannot escape tariffs. As you mentioned a few months ago, they really were waiting and seeing, not really commenting on how tariffs might affect prices. But now we know they are going to have to raise prices on some of their inventory. Here is Billy Bastick. He's the executive vice president of merchandising. He spoke just moments ago on the earnings call about raising prices. Take a listen.
Some of the imported goods, obviously tariff rates are significantly higher today than they were when we spoke in May. So as you'd expect, there'll be some modest pricing in some categories, but it won't be broad-based.
No, that's good. I mean, he's at least saying right now it's going to be modest. But at the end of this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about, okay, they're saying modest now. What does that mean in the future? And then also when we're talking about modest, this is just one category.
And so here's a state of Home Depot's inventory right now. Less than 50% of the inventory they get from abroad. Some of the majority they're getting from right here in the United States. But for a while now, the company has been aiming to diversify their supply chain so that one single country only produces up to about 10% of the inventory. That really helps move the supply chain around for the company. But look at Home Depot's stock price, up almost 4.5% right now. And that is because despite tariffs impacting prices, the company went ahead with their full year guidance. They didn't make any changes to that. In addition to Home Depot's stock price, there's been real earnings that have really boosted markets in the last couple weeks. And we're watching the Dow very closely right now. We are in record territory. This is the last U.S. index to hit a record this year. Investors have been largely putting the trade war behind them and have been really focusing on these earnings. And Home Depot, despite announcing that they will have to raise prices, still really showing sort of a stable future for the company. Investors obviously like that. So that's good news this morning. We'll have to see if eventually at the end of the day, of course, Pamela, the Dow does notch that record. It'll be the first record of this year, the last one set in December of 2024, Pamela.
Okay, so that's Home Depot saying that they will have to raise their prices, and they're saying modestly. And one thing that they talked about, less than 50% of the products that they sell are imported. So that's good. So they are selling some products that are made in the U.S. But when we're looking at it, less than 50%, they didn't give us an exact number, but that's still a lot. So that means if you go into the store and you pick up an item, it's almost a 50% chance that it could be imported in from another country, which means that it will probably cost a little bit more if they pass that cost on to the consumer. And you notice Home Depot was only talking about the products that they sell. However, in order to run a Home Depot store, you're going to need to buy products. You're going to have cash registers. You're going to have computer systems. You're going to have a lot of different things. And a lot of those products are also imported in, which means that Home Depot has to pay more in order to have those products, the saws and all the different things that they have there. Like you go and you can get wood cut. They have the machines that do that. They have the machines, the balers in the back, and all of the stuff that they use. They have to pay more for those as well. And so as a result of that, they're going to hike up the price because just their operation costs is more. Okay, and then the last part I want to talk about, Home Depot, they're saying they're going to have to increase their prices modestly, not a lot, but they will have to increase their prices. So you go to Home Depot, you have to pay more. You go to Walmart. Walmart's already indicated that they're going to probably have to raise their prices too. So you go to Walmart, it's going to be a little bit more. And let's say Walmart says the same thing. We're modestly going to increase our prices, so you have to pay more at Walmart. Then you go to the grocery store. They modestly increase their prices. And then you go to the dry cleaners. They modestly increase their prices. And you see where we're going here? You're going to all these different places and everybody's raising their prices. And so even if they're not raising it a lot, they're still all raising their prices, which means that you're going to have to pay more. And that means that inflation is going to go up even higher. And so I just wanted to put that out there. I just wanted to show you Home Depot. We're going to see more stores that are going to say the same thing, that they're going to have to raise their prices. Now, one other thing that I want to talk about too, right before we go, when it comes to Home Depot, major corporation, they can eat some of the costs. Okay, so the cost of tariffs, they don't have to pass it all on to the consumer because they have deep pockets and they're able to weather this storm a little bit better. But if you have a small mom and pop hardware store, they're not going to be able to eat those tariffs the way that a corporation can. And what these corporations could be doing right now, and they're probably, I mean, you know, there's strategy going on and all this, or thinking about this. They say, well, look, we have some small, let's say we have a Home Depot, and then right across the street, we have this small mom and pop hardware store. That Home Depot's strategy could be, you know what? We're only going to have a moderate increase in the cost of our products because we know that mom and pop hardware store is not going to be able to weather the storm the way that we can. And eventually that small mom and pop store, which they're going to, if they have to pay tariffs, they're going to have to increase their prices, and their prices will be more than if you go to Home Depot. So most people are going to go to Home Depot because it's cheaper for the same product. And eventually that mom and pop hardware store is going to have to close down. And once they close down, now Home Depot has an opportunity to raise their prices because you don't have any competition anymore. The small mom and pop hardware store is no longer there. And so we'll see more and more stories like this when it comes to these corporations, and some even mom and pop stores will come out and say, look, we either are not going to be able to continue or we're going to have to raise our prices a lot more. And so this is just something, this is going to be the norm. We're going to hear more and more about this. It's unfortunate. I think this is going to slow our economy down. I think we're going to see people losing their jobs. We're going to see businesses going under, and it's going to impact us as a whole. I mean, they're already talking about recession. You already hear economists saying this. Some say that we're in a recession in certain categories. Some say that we haven't reached a recession yet, but things are not improving when it comes to inflation, and things are not improving when it comes to our economy. So I want to know what you guys think. So let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.